Hello, my name is Keishan Scott. I am a uh, very recent grad from Lee Central High School in Bishopville, South Carolina, which is where I was first introduced to the Auntie Karen Foundation through the partnership with Lee County School District. From there, I went on to the University of South Carolina. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in social work in May of 2023.
Mhm.
And just 3 days after graduating from college, I won my seat on the Bishopville City Council. And so for the past 2.5 years, I have served on the Bishopville City Council, simultaneously while also working as a paralegal in a law firm as well. And then, of course, on June the 3rd of this year, by the grace of God, I won a seat in the State House representing District 50, which covers all of Lee County, a portion of Sumter, and a portion of Kershaw County. And so the opportunity to be introduced and go through the process and, everything with the Auntie Karen Foundation has really been remarkable. It's been a life-changing experience and very grateful for that opportunity. Sixth grade year, I got introduced to a phenomenal young man. I call him a young man because he still gets around as if he's young, Mr. Don Patterson. And so Mr. Patterson was our district's media person. And so they had this idea of starting a media literacy program for our school district. And so I was one of the first members or students of that media literacy program. And we had the awesome opportunity to, then get introduced to the Auntie Karen Foundation. And so we would travel to Columbia to all of the events that she would have, whether it was at Keenan or on the campus of Benedict College, and we would introduce individuals who, came in as guests. While it was working on our public speaking skills, it also gave us the opportunity to be introduced to, so many great opportunities on a much larger scale. If you know anything about Lee County, we're a very rural area. And so,
Mhm.
having this access, having this exposure was very monumental in the lives of individuals such as myself. And so then the partnership came where the Auntie Karen Foundation actually ran the Summer Institute in Lee County. And so up until the point where I graduated high school, I would often take a part in those summer institutes, whether as a student or either working after I graduated, working as a volunteer. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but it
Mhm.
was the year that Al Jarreau came as a special guest. So I can recall, I believe that we were at Keenan for a certain portion of it, and then for the actual Legends of concert, we was at the Kroger Center. And so that year, having the opportunity to meet him face to face, as a matter of fact, still in my office, I have the media tag that we had with his picture that he signed for us as students. And so I would just say, having that opportunity to be up close and personal with someone of his stature, to ask him questions about his journey really helped to build my confidence as a public speaker. And I believe that moments like that are definitely a direct result of, the person that I am today. Absolutely. I would say number one is understanding that age is nothing but a number. It is not a qualifying or determining factor, but it actually helps to work as your advantage. And so I believe that having the opportunity to serve as a young entrepreneur and then even work alongside other young entrepreneurs, it gave me that hope, that spark, that inspiration, to let you know that young people definitely have what it takes to do whatever it is that they put their mind to do. And I believe that this program has helped me to understand and even become a realization of that. Because as a matter, looking at all of the news and all of the media outlets, specifically talking about my race to the state house, being one of the youngest lawmakers in the nation. It's not a bragging right to me. It's more so of a humbling moment to let you know that it does not matter where you come from, doesn't matter your circumstances or your background, that you have what it takes to make a difference and to make your impact on this world. And I believe that, programs such as this one, but specifically the Auntie Karen program, does an amazing job of empowering the next generation. And I won't even say the next generation, the now generation of leaders, to help us to understand that we have what it takes. And just to be authentic, be yourself, be who you are, and, do that unapologetically. And I believe that that's what this program has done. One of my very first interactions with politics was before the same city council that I once sat as a member of. So I can recall at the age of about 7 years old, I had my grandmother help me to create these poster boards of all of the news articles of, different young people and things that were going on in our community that were not positive. And so I went before our city council at that time, basically advocating for the need of us having a boys and girls club or a youth center, something for our youth to positively interact with and be impacted by. And so after that meeting, I never missed another city council meeting.
Mhm.
So it was that meeting that, really sparked my interest. And I would say that what really was a defining moment for me was seeing a problem and wanting to be the answer to that problem. That
Mhm.
was what my motivation was. And now I can tell you that we have since gotten the Boys and Girls Club. We're actually now moving towards getting a YMCA. These are things that are not usually done in rural areas such as Lee County and Marlborough County. We would
Mhm.
typically have to travel to Florence County or wherever
Mhm.
else to get
Right.
access to these types of resources. But I believe that it's most important when you have a seat at the table that you're able to advocate on behalf of the needs of the people that, elected you to that office. And that is one of the biggest things that I really have been most impacted by. And I believe that that is what continues to be my driving force and my reason as to why. Continuing to foster even greater relationships with organizations such as the Auntie Karen Foundation, bringing those types of resources from areas such as the Midlands to rural areas such as Lee County and Marlborough County to make sure that our students have access, that they have exposure, that they, excuse me, understand what it is like to come from smaller areas
Mhm.
but allow their gifts to make room for them. Whether that be in arts, whether it's cooking, whether it's culinary, whether it is sewing, whether it's singing, dancing, whatever it is, media, graphic arts, making sure that they have positive role models and individuals that they can look up to that will help push them and propel them into the next seasons of their life. To me, it
Mhm.
is 20 years of celebrating direct impact on the state of South Carolina. To me, it really is making sure that we're empowering the next generation. And like I said, I changed it earlier and I'll change it again. Not the next generation, but the generation of now. I believe that right now that we are, preparing that our next president, our
Mhm.
next governor, our next senators, our next doctors, our next lawyers, nurses, teachers. I believe that all of that is that it is taking place now. So
Mhm.
to me, this celebration is a milestone, but I believe that it shows what the power of collaboration really means. And it shows us exactly how it is that we're able to celebrate greatness, but even looking forward to what's next. Because although we're celebrating 20 years now, I believe that we'll be able to look back 50 years from now to count all of the numerous individuals that this program has impacted. So I believe that it's, celebrating really it's a groundbreaking celebration to help us to see where we come from, but most of all where we're headed.